Good evening and welcome to Greatest Somerville for July 12th, 2011. I'm Joe Lynch.
And I'm KyAnn Anderson.
Tonight we bring to you another episode without an interesting guest. It's just us. We thought that since most of the interesting folks are out of town, they're either on the beach or by the lake or hiking the Appalachian Trail, KyAnn and I would be free-forming it tonight. We'll talk about some of the recent news stories, and we'll update you with what's on the agenda for the rest of the summer. So before I forget, we will be taking a summer break in around the end of July.
Yeah.
And we're going to be taking a couple of weeks.
Yep, a couple.
3 weeks.
Wait a minute,
weeks.
I thought it was 3 or 4 last year. What happened? I didn't know I got a cut.
Well, the boss hasn't quite decided. You know, the budget.
The boss is
we did the
boss.
budget. We did the budget.
Yeah.
We
the
may have to
budget.
do a furlough. So there
Everybody's
you go.
doing it, Joe. It's trendy.
We are going to be back, but I will be doing 2 more shows during July, both with candidates.
Fantastic.
And
That's
based
what I
on
hear.
your schedule, you may or may not be joining
I will not
us.
be here next week.
So, but for most of August, we're not going to be here. For those candidates who have been putting off booking yourself on Greatest Somerville, too bad. We'll see you in September. We'll see you in September.
Got to draw the line.
We do have to draw the line. You know, we've invited all the candidates, so if you haven't been paying attention. And then we'll move right into chit-chat.
Chit-chat.
So where have you been?
Well, I have been hiding out. No, I'm just kidding. I spent a month of June doing a lot of work-related things.
Yep.
Obviously, as many of you know, the Green Line extension is something that I've been working on, and there were a lot of community meetings with that. And so we did that, and I've been busy traveling and doing some things, you know, for fun, and avoiding Joe. So that's really
Now,
what I'm
are
doing.
we supposed to mention where you went on vacation or not? I understand there's a little...
Thank you, Joe,
there was
for
a little
airing my
problem
dirty
with
laundry.
There was a
No.
little problem with your visa or something.
Yes,
getting in and out of the country.
I've got my name on a list.
Yeah.
No, I actually went to Poland. A friend of mine got married in Warsaw.
Yeah.
And so it was just a wonderful little trip. A friend of mine, we just flew over there, flew into Amsterdam, and road trip, literally planes, trains, and automobiles, people. We went from Amsterdam into Berlin. We took a car, and then we found out that the car would be confiscated if we entered into Poland, because it's not on the Hertz rent-a-car agreement, so we had to ditch the car, jump on a train. So it was really wonderful. Saw a couple good friends of mine get married this summer, and, you know, here I am.
You and I seem to have a problem with cars, taking them out of countries and stuff. I had a similar problem traveling from the Republic of Ireland to Northern Ireland one time.
And what happened? Did you go to jail?
It's a story
Another
for
episode.
another episode, but
It could be a hot topic. We'll just
it
write
was
that
a
down.
very hot topic. My nephew, who happened to be driving the car, wasn't appreciative of the fact that I told a little white lie about, oh, it's fine, the insurance covers it, we're fine.
Oh,
Everything's
fantastic.
fine. So we got a lot to chit-chat about.
Yeah.
We have no guest, but we have each other.
That sounds. We should sing "Kumbaya" or something.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on, but then there's not.
Yeah.
It's the summertime. It's hot as hell.
It is.
If I can say that.
Hot in Somerville.
And you know, I was in the South for some years a while back, and that's why I moved. People is to get away from this.
Yeah.
And it's just disgusting. It's hot, and we look shiny.
The
You know, I was
humidity-
blotting Joe's forehead. It was just a real.
You could land a 747 on this forehead.
You got a haircut though. Thank you.
I did.
Yeah.
Between you and my mother,
Yeah.
you need a haircut.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. You got to keep the viewers happy.
Mom's watching at home. Let's say hello to her. Hi,
I'm glad
Mom.
you're feeling better.
And Sheila, and my niece Sheila is mom sitting tonight, so
You know who
Hi,
might
Sheila.
also be watching tonight?
tell me.
Well, rumor on the street. I mean, we can just jump right into this, but
Right.
I heard there
we're
was
not
a
going to
little.
start rumors, are we?
Well, it's a little bit of a scandal.
Well, since everybody else in the city starts rumors, let's do it.
I heard that there was a show on Scat. I want to say it was on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
With 2 women that apparently got canceled.
That was a great little show,
It
too.
was a great
I
little
heard
show.
the rumor, too.
And now,
the name
did you
of
hear,
that
what did
show
you
was
hear?
Summertime.
It was Summertime.
Summertime with
Allie and Emily.
Allie and Emily.
And do you know why it got canceled?
I heard there was a contract dispute
Was it
between the two
vulgarity?
of them. It could have been vulgarity, but I think what I heard. Now
Okay.
this is only a rumor, kind
Yeah,
of.
but you're good with
What
that.
I heard was it had something to do with the President Obama finger puppet. that they were contacted.
Well, it was a little controversial, that
Yeah.
finger puppet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know where they got that thing from.
Yeah.
But I'd say, you know, you're probably right. I mean, the Republicans are in control of the House, and maybe there's some...
Well, they liked it. The Republicans liked it. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of it had to do with the fact of which finger the finger puppet was on.
You need to be careful with
The
that.
Secret Service contacted them and said, and then they contacted the studio and they
They
said,
need to
get them
watch
off
out.
or you'll lose your funding.
Those girls, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't kick us off.
Yeah,
so that's
I'm
good.
kind of, you know, they were good competition.
They
too.
were good competition,
They had
but
a great
you know,
little show. They had, it must have been 2 audience members that watched them regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some obnoxious caller from, was it Henderson Street?
It could have been. Could have been.
Okay, well, anyway,
Well, that neighborhood.
I'm sad to see it go. I will say that. I'm sad to see it go, and we wish them all the best. And we hope they come back. Maybe they come back
Maybe
under
they'll-
a different name.
Maybe
you know, so
they'll
the
call
FBI
into
doesn't-
this show.
Maybe they will.
Since their own was such a flop, maybe they'll call into
This
this
is true,
one.
Joe. I'm trying to be nice, but the
We're
number on the
razzing
screen-
you,
okay.
ladies. We're razzing you.
What
Let's
else do
go
you want to
on.
talk about?
Well, there were a couple of things I wanted to say. You know, the weather part of it, I can't emphasize enough that you have to keep hydrated even during
Absolutely.
humid weather. It's
Yes.
not just the hot weather.
is
Humid
true.
weather, you have to keep hydrated. Please check on your housebound neighbors, your seniors, your disabled, folks that just don't want to go out in hot weather.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
We're
speak-
strong,
yeah,
like
no.
bulls. We'll get out there. So.
I'm going to speak up for the four-legged friends that we all
Yeah,
have. Be
yeah.
careful about that because people go out and run their dog, and I just think that you have to be very careful
You do.
about
You
overheating.
do.
And then also, you've got an air conditioner unit on when you're not at home, but just make sure that you check on them. They have enough fresh water because that's obviously a concern.
A couple of congratulations. Can we do
Yes.
those?
We can do whatever we want.
Congratulations, we're tooting our own horn here again at Scat TV. Scat TV, yet again, for the 6th or 7th year,
Yeah, it's
has
impressive.
won a nationwide award for excellence in programming. So congratulations, Scat TV, to Wendy Blum and all of the staff down here.
Yeah,
They do a
it's great
superb
news.
job. And congratulations to the Somerville Little League Minors champs, the team from Boston Closet.
Very impressive. I
Very
read
nice,
that. That was a
very
highlight
nice.
on my list.
So to the coaches and the sponsors, and especially to the team players, guys,
Well done.
great job. Great
Okay.
job. So those are the congratulatories.
Okay.
And then we move into the probably the more boring part of the show, which is, so what's the city up to,
No!
KyAnn?
Hey, no. There's nothing boring about the city.
Single
Come on.
stream. You want to talk about single stream recycling.
Oh, I did see that. I'm excited to get my bin.
KyAnn will talk about single stream recycling. I'll be right back.
Joe, now, okay. First of all, I think it's relevant in that the city launched
is.
no. The city
Right.
launched a new Facebook page for it's a green initiative, and of course I can't find it on my thing here. But anyway, the Green Somerville page on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important because I think, and along with the single stream recycling, because it's really showing that Somerville is making an effort to get out there, be a forerunner of recycling, reducing their carbon footprint, all these things.
Admirable.
I think it's wonderful.
And I
Ward
like
5,
it.
well, Ward 5,
We were the pilot program.
we were the pilot program, and it was
Yeah.
such a raging success. They're now going to be delivering these big bins. I mean, I don't know where the hell
on
they're gonna put
wheels.
that. On wheels.
We call them the big wheel bins. That
Oh,
make
we call them. See, I wasn't in the trial.
the big wheel bins. We were in the trial.
Okay.
And there was a subsequent follow-up meeting. I have to give the city credit on this. They had a
Okay.
subsequent follow-up meeting with the people who were in the pilot.
Okay.
And asked them,
What did you think?
what'd you like? What did you dislike? Was it a one-size-fits-all program, or do we need to adjust this thing?
Well, why wouldn't you like it? All you have to do is throw everything in the bin.
Well, here's some of the
Right?
things that
I mean,
came
I
out at the meeting,
separate.
and I think the city has all those results, and the comments that were made were online. The upside is it's a brilliant move by the city because it reduces their cost.
Okay.
It also encourages people to recycling,
Yes.
which is one of the byproducts of what they were really trying to do in the
Correct.
first place. So in terms of accomplishing their goals, but then there's always the consequences of it.
Which are?
Which are, the bin is too big for certain people because apartment dwellers still need to have the small blue bin inside their apartment. Because you're not going to go running from the fourth
Yeah.
floor all the way down to the blue bin
Well, you take the bin and you transfer
That's
it.
right.
I mean,
That's right.
You know,
So
logistics, Joe.
the bin is too big for certain people with their yards. They just have no place to put
I
it.
have a very small yard, and I will make it fit.
All right. Well, you can make it fit.
Okay.
Seniors
Negative.
Seniors can't maneuver it.
Okay, that
because
I'll
it's
take.
too big.
Okay.
Wintertime, people without porches. I heard this. This is not just me.
Okay.
People without porches
Yeah.
have no place to, and it gets buried in the snow in the yard.
There's a cover on it. It actually is better.
Right, but trying to move it through the snow.
For someone who is not that interested in recycling, folks, I'm finding it very peculiar that you're talking, what is it, we're going on 2-3 minutes on this?
I've been recycling longer than you've been around.
You're recycled.
So I am recycled. Here's my point. They need
And then we're gonna wrap it up.
They need to have something that adjusts to certain needs.
I
A
think
one
that's
size
fair.
fits all
Yeah.
huge mega tub sitting in your yard, it may not fit everybody.
Okay.
So what we heard at the meeting was that they are going to continue using the blue tubs, the
Yeah.
smaller blue tubs, which fits perfectly for some
great.
people. And I think
And
it's
everyone,
terrific.
one size doesn't
So
fit
what
all.
I do now is I just leave the big one in the backyard.
Great.
I use the little one.
How do you leave that in the backyard when you're always entertaining over there?
Well, now it looks like hell in my backyard.
Well, you
so I
need to
gotta
have a
figure,
party, so
I gotta
that's
figure
the
out-
secret of
I'm gonna
having
put
a clean
potted,
house.
I'm going to put
Have
a
a party.
potted palm in it and just, plant something in
All
it.
right, on to the next topic, folks. I think we beat that.
We beat that, a single stream recycling.
Yeah. How about those, speaking of
Yes.
transportation, because it's been on my mind lately,
Yeah.
how about those passengers that were stranded today between
the Red
Florida and
Line.
Harvard?
On the Red Line?
6 hours they were stranded.
Yeah, I saw that in the news today.
That's
the saving grace of the Green Line.
true.
They're above ground,
Absolutely.
right?
And they're
So
not going to
if-
have that problem.
We won't have that. What was it, electrical problem or something?
I'm not certain, but I just.
And
know
then the
that they're-
second train that came to the rescue got stuck.
Oh, did
They
it?
couldn't get that one out either.
Yeah, I was lucky. I drove today, but normally that would be me. I would be
It's-
on that.
It says something, though, for the praise. I read 2 or 3 different news stories about the passengers that were being interviewed when
Yeah.
they got up. Not a one of them were angry.
Yeah,
Not
I
a one
noticed
of them
that.
had anything bad to say about the rescuers or.
Yeah.
It's an inconvenience, it's annoying, but they were thankful that it was handled so well.
I mean, to get out of there, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Side note.
Well, Green Line above ground, we won't have that problem.
Of course not.
Red
No
Line,
problems at
Davis
all.
Square is below ground, so.
This is true.
Transportation. Anything else happening in the Green Line front?
There actually is a meeting going on.
Gilman Square, I saw.
Gilman Square,
Yep.
put on by the CCP, the Underground Works Somerville, I understand.
Yep.
Community Quarter Planning. And that is actually, when do you have that?
Is that July
You got that?
14th?
July 16th. No, July 16th from 10. No, that's the photo walk. I'm sorry. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of. July 14th from 6 to 8:30
There you go.
at the Paddock Restaurant, 239 Pearl Street.
There you go.
And then there's a photo walk through July 16th from
Yeah.
10 to 12:30.
Are they going to have free fried clam dinner at the
You know
paddock?
what? I don't know. You can call them, or you could stop by. Better yet, Joe. I don't know if there are any other. You've just missed being sarcastic to me. I've noticed.
How?
I walked in the studio, and literally, the minute I walked in, it was like,
Because I haven't seen you in so long.
I know.
I
But
miss
this
being
was-
sarcastic
This was
to
a
you.
planned vacation, folks. But
All right.
if you also want to go to that planning photo, 10 to 12:30. I'm not sure where you're meeting. You might want to check.
Check the city's website or
Yeah,
check
I think it's
STEP.
You could
Somerville
check stuff.
Transportation
Yes,
Equity
they always have
Partnership.
very
They always
accurate-
have very good information.
Yeah.
Go to the source, folks. Don't take it off of secondary blogs. Go to the
This
source
is
when
true.
it comes to this stuff.
So you know what's coming up this weekend?
Tell me.
Art Beat.
Art Beat, Davis Square.
Yeah, Friday night.
Hot time in the old town.
Friday night and Saturday. So it's Friday night it's 6 to 10.
Yep.
And then Saturday it's 10 to 6. Did I get that right?
Well, it goes all weekend.
There's
It's
lots
from
of
July
festivities.
15th through the 17th. So it's Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
That's not what that poster said out there, but okay, no.
Did you read the poster?
I did.
Oh,
Okay,
I
oops.
might have it wrong.
Sorry,
But this
folks.
year's theme is red. R-E-D, red.
Yeah.
So I think if you go to Davis Square this weekend, you're going to have to wear red.
Yeah, no, that's, or dye your hair red or something.
Dye your hair red. Red
Whatever you wanna
sneakers,
do.
red high tops.
I actually really like Art Beat because I think it again highlights a lot of what I like about Somerville, which they've got a lot of interesting organizations, local people there.
Creativity.
Step over there. Creativity. Yeah, a lot of artists, which I like.
You know, speaking of which, I just finished the first summer book, my first summer reading book.
And what was that, Danielle Steele?
No,
Do you know?
and I'm sarcastic, folks. It was by David McCullough,
Okay.
and it's called Americans in Paris.
Oh.
And it follows the art and literary crowd from 1800
Yeah.
through 1900,
Okay.
when all the American expatriates were going over. It runs the range from John Singer Sargent to Winslow Homer to Mary Cassatt, painters, writers, Thomas Edison.
Interesting.
All these people went to Paris at one point or another during their career.
Yeah.
And they all became enormously famous.
So I've gone there
During that
twice.
period.
What does that mean?
Well, you have to live there, KyAnn, not just breeze through, shop on the Champs-Elysees, and then leave with your bags.
That's too trendy,
I know.
It's very
but,
tourist
you know, when you're talking about Art Beat and you're talking
Yeah.
about a lot of the stuff
Yes,
that happens
yes.
in Somerville, wouldn't it be
Yes.
cool in 100 years from now?
Yeah.
When some of these
Who went to
artists...
Art Beat?
Yeah, some of these artists who are now living in Somerville, and eventually they move on. Most
Yeah.
artists move
Yeah.
on. And they'll move on, and then some of them will come back and say, we remember when.
Yeah.
When we lived in a cockroach-infested studio in...
Stop.
What part of the city should we
I'm not
say?
going to say that. That's going to get us in
I'll
trouble.
say it. Teal Square.
No. Yeah, no, I think that there are a lot of interesting artists around, and it will be, you were right, it will be
It would be
interesting
interesting.
to see in years.
But it's a great read. If somebody's looking for a good book, it's David McCullough, who wrote John Adams, 1776, all those historical, because you know I like historical
That's great.
books, but it's a great read for summer. But speaking of the artistic crowd and people moving,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a lousy segue,
That
but
is actually.
Somerville Journal announced that they got,
Yes.
speaking of canceled shows, they got bounced out of the Harvard Pilgrim building.
They got kicked out?
Well,
they
I'm going to
chose
spread the
to leave?
rumor. I'm going to spread the
It's
rumor.
all about rumors tonight. That's
Well,
all
I mean,
the
it
show.
seems most of the news offices are getting bounced out of their places of business. So.
Interesting. Yeah, they're going over to Central on Highland.
Central
Is that
Street,
right?
yeah, right
That's
behind.
a great location over
It's
by
a
Highland
great
Kitchen.
little location.
Can't
It's
get-
not in Ward 5, though, so we can't, try to get more.
Oh, okay.
I think it's actually Ward 3.
Wait a minute, is that right? Are you sure?
I think it's Ward 3.
Right on that border.
It's right on the cusp where, on the other side of Highland Avenue, it
Highland
flows
Kitchen.
into,
Ugh.
yeah. But Highland Kitchen, can you imagine the staff meetings those guys have been
Oh
having?
my
in
God, I love
Kitchen?
Highland Kitchen. I haven't been
Highland
in a while.
Kitchen, take my advice, don't give away anything free. Audie will be at the door, she'll be at
This
your
is
back
true.
door waiting.
This is true.
Bill White,
Yeah.
contrary to rumor, Bill White did not leave the city. He did not abandon us. And
He's been
as a matter-
spotted at Kmart, though.
He was spotted at
He
Kmart.
was
You're
spotted-
going to tell that story, I'm not. But he's also been spotted multiple times in Magoon Square because he's opened up a new law office.
Oh, fantastic.
In Magoon
Congratulations to that. That's great.
My understanding from Bill, I don't spread
Yeah.
the rumor, I go to the source, when Bill sold the big house, because he used to have his
Yeah.
office in the house, now that created a whole
Beautiful
new...
house.
Was a beautiful house, but now he's located right in the heart of beautiful Magoon Square.
That's where you need to be, folks.
So
Magoon
welcome to
Square.
Magoon Square.
Yeah, no, it was just random story, but I was so hot yesterday. I was, you know what? I need some iced tea, but I didn't have a pitcher, so I went all these places, and I finally ended up at Kmart because TJ Maxx had nothing, and I'm sitting there looking for something, and in walks, Bill kind of walks around, and then all of a sudden I
You're
see,
talking about Bill White.
Yes,
Yeah.
Alderman White, and then I saw Alderman Sullivan as well, getting an ironing board, and they were on their way home from work. It was a very random meeting at Kmart, and I congratulated him on his move and hope it went well.
it's
He's
real-
got AC, which was great. I was
It's
jealous.
really too bad that we're on Tuesday nights.
Why is
because-
this?
Well,
They
because
don't
the
get to
other
watch our
publication
show?
in town watches our show, and they try to pick up a lot of information and then publish on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a hot topic.
But that's
Kmart
something for
spotting.
news talk, that Sullivan and White were found
Shopping
shopping
at
for
Kmart.
domestics at Kmart.
Kmart.
Can you imagine?
Random.
I
Just
wouldn't
random.
doubt that that'll show up in news
Okay,
talk
well, we'll
at some
see.
point. But we'll see.
We'll see how much influence we have. What else do we have?
We have some new candidates coming in. I know how much you love politics.
Yeah, you know what? That is a little rumor. That's wrong, Joe. I actually like politics, but I let you shine.
You fell asleep on poor Congressman Capuano. You went.
That
He was
is so
talking
now,
to-
folks, the tape has rolled multiple times here at SCAD, and you know that that's a total lie.
It is.
Okay.
We do have some new candidates.
Yeah,
though.
let's bring it.
We've got a couple of contested races.
Okay.
We have Ward 4.
Yep.
Alderman Perro
Yep.
came on the show and announced he was not running. Tony LaFuente, who is a former mayoral and alderman at large candidate, has announced he is running.
Yep.
And Christine Barber.
Yep.
I've spoken to both Tony and Christine.
When are they coming up?
Tony LaFuente is scheduled in July.
Oh, fantastic.
There's only 2 more Tuesdays left.
Okay.
Tony LaFuente is scheduled for the last Tuesday in July.
Great.
And Christine Barber, I don't think her campaign has scheduled it yet.
Okay.
And then we have some candidates in Ward 7.
Oh.
Bob Train, the
Yes.
incumbent, is
Everybody
running again. Joan Whitney Puglia is. I guess all these guys are going to be certified tomorrow. Tomorrow is the actual date that the election
Yes.
board puts the stamp on it and says, "Okay, you're
That's
all
great.
okay." But I think they're all okay. And then KyAnn Ballantyne,
Yes, I'd heard that.
she is also running. That jogs my memory. Joan Whitney Puglia is next week. Tony LaFuente is the week after. And then the rest of them, I guess, will be
Political
scheduling.
season here at Greater
Political
Somerville. Once
season.
we have our vacation. Or, no, after. We'll do that and then have our
And we also have a race in Ward 3, which
Yeah.
kind of went by me a little bit, but Tom Taylor has an opponent in a gentleman named Stephen Delaney. I hope I pronounced his
Yeah.
name correctly. It's Delani, Stephen Delaney. And then in the at-large, man, did that open up right at
Yeah.
the very end of it.
Right?
Yeah. So we've got the 4 incumbents of Sullivan, White, Desmond, Connolly. Sounds like a law firm or an insurance agent.
Yeah.
And we have 3 newcomers to the scene. Sean Fitzgerald. Many of you will remember who Sean Fitzgerald is. He was the former chief of staff under former Mayor Dorothy Kelly Gay. He's now working in the White House.
Wow, I was
He's
going to
not-
say, and he's coming
He's
to
working
Somerville.
in the White House and he
That's
wants to
great.
come back. He's working in the State House for one of the state reps.
Okay.
And he's made the decision that he's going to run for at-large. Gentleman named Todd Eason.
Yep.
And gentleman named Michael Neonakis.
That's great.
Both Fitzgerald and Neonakis are going to be scheduling themselves for September.
That's great.
I haven't heard anything from Todd Eason or his folks yet, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a fun season, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good. I think it's important to have people challenging others because I think it keeps it up. You know,
I think it's an extremely important thing.
Because
If you've got
there's a
something
lot
to
going
say.
on.
Yeah.
And we need to keep people.
Well, you know how I feel when the incumbents become complacent.
like it's being a tenure professor.
That's right.
Not all the time. I
right.
shouldn't say that. Let me
That's
preface,
right.
but
That's
I mean,
right.
you got to keep that.
There was something that just went out of my head. Went out of my head when we were talking about the. But let's keep chatting.
Yeah.
It'll
You know
come back.
something I heard interesting today, and I just want to bring this to attention. Congratulations go out to Claire Elise Johnson. She lives in Davis
I missed
Square.
that one, yes.
Somerville resident. She is heading to the Miss Black USA pageant.
Yes.
So congratulations to her.
Prominently featured in the Somerville Journal.
Correct. Going to
Yeah.
Washington D.C. to compete in a nationwide competition. Founded in 1986. It's been 35 years since that's been going. So congratulations to her. That's wonderful news. You've got the Davis Square, Somerville Journal offices moving. What else do we got?
One thing I wanted to say about Artbeat when you brought up Artbeat. Artbeat is a terrific event here in the city, so please patronize it and go down to
Yeah.
Davis Square. But also don't forget there's plenty to do in the city during the summertime.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people go away on vacation. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They have to depend on stuff to do here in the city.
Well,
the recreation department has multiple events for the kids.
Farmers markets.
The farmers markets, the library has all kinds of
Yeah.
events throughout the summer. The pools are open, the playgrounds are open, there are movies in the park. There's lots to do. Go on the city's website, figure out what's what. Go on the Somerville Journal's website.
Yep. There's an
figure out what's
interesting
what.
thing going on this weekend, July 13th from 7 to 9. The Somerville Garden Club July meeting, but they're actually doing a walk of the discussion of the history of the Mount Auburn Cemetery landscape. landscaping, which
I
I
saw
think
that.
is beautiful.
I saw that. St. Gaudens was another guy that was in the book by David McCullough.
All goes back to Joe.
St. Gaudens
Everything
was the
goes back to Joe.
sculptor who did that famous sculpture in front of the Massachusetts State House of the
Fantastic.
Black
We've
Regiment
got
in
30
the
seconds.
Civil War.
What else do we want to say?
I just want to say naming rights for the tea stops that are coming up.
Yes, KyAnn Corner.
KyAnn Corner, the Lynch line.
There you
The
go.
Lynch line at
There you
Lowell.
go, people. Summer hot topics on Greater Somerville.
Yeah, you know, there was something wrong with
getting
that
ready to go.
arrow last week. If there is something wrong with the arrow, we apologize.
As always.
We're being told that, no, you might have another 5 seconds. But, as always, have a terrific summer. Stay safe, stay informed, and we will see you next week. KyAnn, maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure. Mom, I'll be home in a few minutes.
Good night.
Tell
Allie and Emily.
Allie and Emily, you're welcome back on our show,
As a
even though
guest,
you got
anytime.
canceled.
Now, why is that not good? It's interesting. Okay. Good night, everyone. I guess.
Well, we can keep talking.
Well, we could keep talking, but just so people know, we have a little timer there that we can see, and it tells us when the show will be ending.
I think somebody moved it.
I think somebody's playing with us. See what happens? I go away for 4 weeks, and
Well,
everything goes to hell.
See, they know you pay more attention to this stuff than I do, and they know that I've got some years on you, so they probably figure the old codger...
How do they figure that out? With the hair?
The old codger
Nope.
can't see the arrow anyway.
All right,
So.
we're coming up. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Good night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good night.
Good night.